This is part of the review, 600-mile review of the CFMoto Uforce 600. When I purchased the UTV, I had the dealer install the front windshield and the back window. Both are plastic um, shields, plastic windows. And now after 600 miles, the front windshield is one of the things that I decided to change. My riding is primarily forest trails, but also a lot of rural farm roads here in central Wisconsin, and the gravel forest roads as we get farther west and farther north. And 90% of the time, that fixed front windshield is perfect, but there are times when it is extremely dry and the dust is extremely thick. And with a solid front windshield and a solid rear glass and the half doors that I also have installed, the um, the dust really seems to be sucked into the cab area and kind of just swirls around and gets everywhere, including your eyes and throat. The solid windshield is perfect if you have the solid doors as well, and you can have some positive pressure inside the cab. But for a lot of my riding in dusty conditions, the solid front windshield just wasn't working out. So I recently installed the um, windshield that has some air vents, and with the idea that a little bit of air flowing through would expel the dust or prevent it from coming in the first place. So got a couple video clips here of installing the windshield. Um, the good news is that this option from Amazon is less than half the price of the actual CFMoto branded windshield. So here's some clips of installing it. It's simply held on by some straps that are velcroed to the roll cage. So it's a really easy process. You just have to install the weather stripping around the edge of it, but that also provides um, the insulation, the weather stripping, the isolation from the metal so it doesn't rattle, and then it's held up on by these really strong Velcro straps. So it is strictly um, a shield. It's not permanently installed, and it can be removed.
So these straps are a little tricky. This bracket is sized to fit in the slot, but you have to fold this over and then feed it through there and get it all the way through, and then get the bracket in that slot and then tighten it up from the inside. So after you've folded the strap over and fished it through that slot, then this fits exactly in that rectangular cutout. And then you can take the excess strap and crank it down tight. So it's kind of an ingenious design. This is the rectangular hole that the bracket fits through, and then once you pull this tight, that can't go anywhere, and this is extra tight. This is like a rubber coated Velcro, so there's no way it's going to loosen up or squeak. Now the only other thing that I did was, these are fairly loose, and this is designed obviously to slide, but you can see these are going to drive you nuts if you don't tighten them up. So it's going to be open for the summer, so I'm just going to crank this tight, and then I'm going to tighten these up at least so that it would be difficult to slide it back and forth. There's three of those in addition to the thumb screw. That's the finished product. These straps, clamps, whatever you want to call them, are really tight. You have to apply the bulb seal around the outside edge, and obviously the bulb part goes to the back. It was actually too long, so when you get all the way around to where you started, you'll need a tin snips to cut this off, because this is actually a metal reinforced clamp on here. I mentioned these bolts, they were pretty loose, so I just tightened it up till they were snug and then backed off about a quarter of a turn, and it's still loose enough that I can slide it, but you don't want that constantly rattling. So really pleased. I think that's going to eliminate the vacuum as you're going down the road and create enough positive pressure to blow the dust out instead of sucking it around the corner and in behind that solid glass back window. So stay tuned. We'll see how it works out.
Well, I want to report that the vented windshield does exactly what I was hoping it was going to do. I actually was able to close the vent on the driver's side about half. I left the passenger side open, but went for a ride out on my typical roads. Nice sunny dry day, and the dust was reduced by, I would say, at least 90% in the cab. So a little airflow through those vents on the lower part of the windshield makes all the difference. It expels the dust out and keeps some of the rolling dust from coming up um, through the openings above the half doors. You're always going to get some dust coming in because the firewall isn't sealed. There's gaps around the steering, and there's gaps along the edges of the frame. But a dramatic difference, and considering it's half the price, I'm very happy with it, and I would give this definitely a 5-star rating. Uh, Probably installation, I would say you could do it in a half an hour.